This is exclusive updates, and in this video we're going to talk about the origins of creation and everything that you see. And so we've brainstormed on this before on this channel. I'll leave a link to my playlist if you want to get caught up. So in this video we're going to cover information about this from Yaki Awakened. So this individual is explaining the concept of what we are and how it is connected to God. So in my previous videos, I've explained that it's basically like creation is what God spoke into reality. And so when you speak things, they have power to it. So be careful what you say, because how you think and what you say can actually matter. And so that's how everything is created in this world. It starts with an idea, and then it might end up on a blueprint, and then it starts to be manufactured, and it becomes an actual physical thing eventually. So with God, the concept is that when he spoke everything into existence, it's almost kind of like the same thing in a way, where, you know, he's speaking light and earth and everything, let there be trees and birds. It's like he just thinks it and it can happen. So it's even more powerful than our concept of creating things, where with us we have to think and create physically an item, but sometimes there's more to it, where you can manifest things into reality just by thinking it over and over again repeatedly. Like if you want to change anything about you, or you want to work on something, instead of thinking I can't do it, if you think you can do it, you're probably going to have better success. So there's a spiritual element to it as well, but it's just not nowhere near as powerful as God's creative powers would be. Where if God says something, I think that would be almost more instantaneous than you could imagine. Like if he's saying, let there be this or let there be that, that's actually going to be something that probably is pretty immediate. So now you're seeing a concept where if all there is in the beginning is God, then what else could there ever have been? You know, like if you're in nothingness, well, I've determined that nothingness is an impossibility of reality. There is no such thing as nothing. There cannot be nothing, because in nothing, there actually was something, and that something was thought. And that thought, that consciousness, that self-awareness, that something is within nothingness is the paradox of reality that we would consider God. And this consciousness, I believe, would have been aware of self within nothingness and determine that it is. You can go by this just by thinking about it. You can, it's not something like you really read up on or study. This is information that you kind of got to just use the tools that I've provided and the base ideas of nothingness not being an actual thing. If it's impossible for there to be nothing, all there could be is everything. But not only that, but it would be the actual infinite moment of self-awareness that exists at all times, that we are dwelling in right now. So let's hear Yaki Awaken break this down for you.
I want you to combine everything that you know, your knowledge, and why do you, just in your brain, why do you feel like we're here?
Why we here?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna say it's simple. We are God experiencing itself in 7 billion different compartmentalized biological computers. God created creation, but God is all creation. It needed to experience itself, and in order to experience what it created, it needed a body. So it created a fleshly terrestrial vehicle to project itself through, to experience its creation, get feedback from this matrix and from this grid to further expand its consciousness. So if I was a creator, I was a creator of all things, and I created humans, and I wanted to experience that creation, and I'm not human, I want to see what that creation like. I'm going to put a fragmented piece of myself into this vehicle. I'm going to breathe into it the breath of life, the Ruach Chaim. And then I'm going to have it go through life and collect this data and this information, pass it down. And then when you transition, I'm not going to say die because we don't die, we multiply. When you transition, you bring all that information back to me. And now I get to expand my consciousness more. We are God that created humans to put God in, to experience our creation, to teach ourselves. So our purpose, look, I'm going to say something crazy as hell, but really listen to what I say when I say that. The purpose for us being here in the human terrestrial flesh is to teach God. I know that sounds crazy now, but they finna get this nigga said we here to teach God.
Yeah, hey, but we all have these thoughts. We all are here, and we all have thoughts like, why am I here? What does this mean? What is
to teach God?
What is
your whole purpose here to experience. Look, think about it. Your mind wanted to experience creation, so it created a body.
Oh, hold on. Move your mic.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. No, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So your mind wanted to experience creation,
Right.
So it created a body.
Okay.
All right. If you wanted to drink water, the only way you was going to be able to experience that water, you needed hands back in the day to stop it. Right. So you got hands. Your hands is like your tools and your utensils to collect data and information to bring it to your subconscious mind, what gets uploaded to the real neural link, which is the plasma that connects you and your higher self, or what we call the creator, right?
Yeah.
You have eyes to look at things for you can experience these things, decode them, and bring them back. You can bring it out?
Yeah. Okay.
Better?
Yeah.
So you have eyes to look and to decode information, to download and storage this information, to make sense of it, and then to bring it to the cloud. Well, look, we talking about Wi-Fi and we talking about iCloud. There was a cloud way before the iCloud. It's called plasma. It's a living, existing plasma. It's called ether. Ether plasma exists. We've been putting stuff in the cloud since the beginning of time, since humans been here on earth. The whole purpose of you being here is to teach God. God needed to experience its own creation, so it created billions of beings. It fragmentalized itself. Let us make man in our likeness, in our image, and give them dominion over the fish of the sea, give them dominion over the fowl of the air, give them dominion over the earth. I'm going to put myself into these people, send them forth in the earth, have them gather all of this intellectual information, download it subconsciously. When they transition, they upload it to the cloud, it come to me, and I expand myself more. That way, when I keep making these new open ending creations, it get better and better. So yes, we are God teaching God.
And so with 7 billion people on this earth, could everybody be in a state of mind where they don't understand who they are? You know, you just ended up in this world and you're not aware that you could be the spark of God, a part of God, like a droplet. You know, a rain droplet can come down from the sky and might not realize that it could become part of the bigger ocean eventually, or it might evaporate back into the clouds and become a cloud. And then it has these different forms where it could be individual as a droplet, or it could be part of a collective ocean. So this concept is very interesting, because if everything was spoken into existence, what else could there be? It's almost like a dream, as we've discussed in the different video, where it's kind of like when you dream, you can dream and interact with others within your dream. But who are these people? Are they all you? Is everything in your dream you? You know, you can live in a house in your dream, you can jump in your car, you can do so much. What are these things? They're part of your mind. They're imagined things. So if you're in the image of God, are we not in the imagination of God? So look, with this concept, I mean, it's very interesting to dive into. I've dived into it, like I've said in my previous videos. I've come to this conclusion without any teachings or any readings. And then I started coming around more and more people that are talking the same thing. Eventually, I came across so many different studies on this and different people that are saying the same concept. But I originally arrived at this concept without the help of anyone else. I mean, that's what was so profound about it, was that it was just something that kind of came to me through a process of brainstorming and thinking about the origins of creations, and it just kind of all came together. So it's kind of like, what happens if you realize that you're dreaming, though? If this world is like a God dream, or we're in the imagination of God, what happens if we become lucid? So with lucid dreaming, That's when you wake up within your dream and you realize that you're dreaming as you're dreaming. So when you're in this world that you create within your dream, there's a thing where people say you can actually start understanding that you are dreaming during the dream. Then what world are you in at that point? You're in a whole nother world at that point that looks real, but it isn't. It's almost like a matrix type world, if you will. And it's something that I haven't ever practiced just because it just seems like something that you shouldn't really tamper with, in my opinion. I mean, maybe it's okay, maybe it's not, but I personally don't feel comfortable attempting to lucid dream. Although maybe it's not such a big deal. Who knows? Let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think about lucid dreaming? I mean, I definitely don't recommend it just because I don't know the implementations of it. Because I know if you're dealing with these realms that you don't understand, like the astral world and the dream world and things like that, what if something happens where you get lost in it or something? Or, you know, you saw that one movie, Insidious, where the boy ends up getting lost in a world within a dream, and in the real world he is basically in a coma and his parents are trying to help him, but you know, he's really stuck in this world, in this dream world, where he thought he could fly and do all these things in his dreams, but he ended up getting stuck in there and dealing with some entities. So I mean, that's kind of my concerns when it comes to lucid dreaming, but I understand the concept though. So with the concept of lucid dreaming, I mean, when it comes to that, I just like to apply it to possibly, like, with this world, if we start awakening to what we are a part of, what our life force is, what our consciousness is, kind of like keep it at that level where just kind of, if we start understanding what this place is, what this world is, maybe there's something to it. So is God experiencing everything all at once through us is the question. Is there anything to this information? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Check out my playlist where you can see all of my videos on the subject. This has been Exclusive Updates. Check the description box for links. Thanks for tuning in. Signing off. Check out the Path to Success. Link is in the comment section and description box if you want to learn ways to be successful at anything you might be working on.